Hi guys, it's Victoria here, Beyond Paper by Victoria. Welcome to my channel today. Now today I'm sharing with you a huge die set. Now this is your kit, your next kit, and this is the Argyle gift bag. And you've never had this many dies in a kit before, but you have this time. And when this came to me, I did the packaging for this, and it came to me in just the bag. The purse hadn't arrived, so I made the bag, and then the purse arrived. I made one with the purse, and then the papers arrived, and I made some with the papers. So I think I've made about 7 for launch. And this will be number 8 with the video. Now my papers aren't intact. I have used a lot of them, but I can just give you a little sneaky peek of some of the patterns. So with this you get sentiments that can go on your bag, you get strips to add to your bag. They are double-sided patterns. So you'll get 2 of those, or maybe 3 of those. I think 2 of those, and then you've got this design. Oh no, you get 3. You do get 3, I think. And then you've got this design here, so there's 3 of this one, and that design across the other side. Then you get this blue pattern there with that pattern opposite. Then you get this pattern with the scissors, which I absolutely love, and then scissors on the other side. And then you get this pattern here, which I really like this one as well, and with the coffee colour on the other side. And there's other designs, but I have used quite a lot already because obviously I've done quite a lot of samples. But you are going to get the papers with the set. Now then, where do we start? Well, this is going to be a handbag with a purse inside, and inside the purse is a gift card holder. So, you know, it could be just a bag with treats inside, or you could actually have it as the gift card holder. So, run through the dies quickly with you. This is the main bag, so you'll need 2 of these. This is your layer for obviously adding pattern papers, etc. to it, or another layer of cardstock, completely up to you. You'll need 2 of these. This is the side panel for each end of the bag, so 2 of those. You'll need 2 decorative pieces that go on the side of the bag there. You'll see various little zips and a long zip there. You also have this ornate piece here. I'm going to actually be using this in the one we're going to make, so that's going to be like at the end of the zip there. But there is also in this set a 3D zip, this one here, which folds in on itself and creates a 3D zip on the bag. Okay, so these are decorative elements here. This is so that you could have a hanger with a ribbon, so you could have a longer handle if you wished, like a crossover body bag. You've got various sentiments here and a tag. You've also got this die here to go on the corners. You have this little die here which adds as a washer, because if you add the longer handle with these brackets here and these washers, it will pivot, so the handles will come up and down so you can open and close the bag. You have an ornate pair of scissors for decoration there. You have a button, you had a round tag. This is an extra layer to go on your handles. You've also got decorative elements here that will deboss and then add a layer. This little die here goes on to decorate this die here, which holds your strip that goes across the bag. And I will show you all this. So you need to cut 4 of these and 2 of these. This is the little decorative element to the bottom corner of your bag, so you need to cut 4 of those. Then let's move these pieces out of the way. You'll need to cut 4 of these. This is to form the band that goes around the top of your bag to keep it closed. And then this is the purse. So you will need to cut 2 of these, 2 of these. These then act as your decoration for the bag. You have to cut 2 of these, which is a padlock. And it has a decorative die that goes on the front there. Okay, so you have a little 3D padlock there. You have another little padlock there. There's also a key, which Vicky can't see at this moment in time, but it is here somewhere. Or maybe it isn't. Maybe Vicky's put it somewhere else. There it is. Gosh, you can't see for the trees. There's your little key. And then this piece here, you will need to cut 2 of these and 2 of these. And this is going to form the holder to hold the gift card inside. So those are all your dies, and you are truly spoiled. When they say this is a kit plus, this is going to be a kit plus. Never ever been done before. Whether it be getting done again, I don't know. Because this, I would have imagined it would be pretty expensive to make. And then this die here goes along with this latch here. Oh no, it doesn't, sorry. No, it doesn't. Scrub that. This die goes for the latch attachments for the bag, which I have now got to cut because I forgot that part. So as true Vicky fashion, I always forget something. I think the last 3 or 4 videos I've made, I've forgotten to cut something, so we will cut those now. And then and we're cutting them in a different colour cardstock than the bag, but there we go, it doesn't really matter. So we want 1 of those, and we need to cut that again. Good job we spotted that. So let's cut that again. Like I say, I probably would have cut those in a light blue to match the bag, but it doesn't really matter. So let's cut those out. Right, so let's disregard that. Let's put the die away before we lose it, because that is true fashion Vicky, that is. Right, so have I cut a layer for my bag? No, I don't think I've done that either. Well, there we go. That's very Vicky Blue Peter fashion, I must admit. So what colour are we going to go for that? Let me have a ponder. So, are we going to go for a pattern or not? Let me have a look, see if we've got any papers left that I could use for this one. Will we get 2 out of that? Yes, so we'll go for that. I think we'll go for that. Right. Well, I'm hoping I'm going to get 2 out of this sheet. Maybe not, actually. Maybe not. No, I'm not going to get 2 out of that sheet, so no, we're not going to use that. Best laid plans. Have we got a sheet there where we've got 2? Let's have a look. Oh dear me, Vicky. Let's have a look. That one? I think we'll go with that one. We've got 2 of those. Right. We're on a roll. Let's go. Let's go. I like it, you know, if you're familiar with my channel and familiar with me, you know I love to have everything cut out beforehand. I don't think you need to see a wobbly desk. And hearing me cutting things out on my very tatty plates that have been loved. Right, so let's cut another piece, make sure we're the right orientation. There we go. And let's cut that one out. Maybe we might have done a little bit more colour coordinating before we set off, but there we go. So let's get the glue press out and let's get going. Right, so these are your two main pieces, okay? So you need two of those and you need two of these. Now fold all your score lines, okay? And what we want to do is add adhesive to this glue tab here. All right, and we need to add that just to one at that end and then one at the other end. Okay, and I'll tell you why we're just adding that part now. So let's just add some more adhesive to this one and do the same. So line that one up. Okay, and then stick you down. Let's get rid of the excess glue because we don't want that. And so you've got this shape. Now of course we don't want to see the workings of this, do we? So we want to overlay that onto there so we don't see those tabs. Okay, so now we're going to add adhesive underneath. You know, tonic, no, we don't like to see all the messy bit. We like it neat and tidy. Right, so you know, add that to there and bring that one up so that you know it moves freely, and then press down there. Now you could use, excuse me leaning in again, you could use a bone folder just to press those pieces together. So give it a burnish. Now once those are together, you've got a nice neat edge. So what we want to do now is fold those glue tabs in, and we want to add adhesive to each side of those glue tabs. Okay, trying not to get it anywhere else. And then we want to fold those flat to your bag and hold it. Okay, so we're going to get the bone folder, burnish that both sides, okay, and then we're going to repeat it on the other side. Okay, and again fold those flat and burnish. And when you know they have stuck, when it pops up, it will form its shape. See there how it forms its shape when it's shut? Okay, so you know these funny clasps that Vicky forgot to cut out, and we've cut them out in the wrong colour, but it doesn't matter. You get to see then how it looks. It will stand out a little bit more. So you need to glue two of these back to back. Okay, so we're gonna glue the angled piece. I had to remember then because I did the packaging so long ago. Add those two angled pieces there together so they form one, and then these spread out like a butterfly. Okay, so you do that to both pieces. So again, just add glue to the shape and then adhere the other shape on top, and then hold them together like so. And when they're dry, we want to put adhesive on these flat edges here, so you want the point facing towards you, okay, and you want the shallower end going down. and then you want to add adhesive to what is facing you. Okay, normally you would automatically go for glue there. So tweezers at the ready, grab hold of it and place it through this little slot here, bring it through and then hold it until it's grabbed inside. And that's why you need the glue facing you, because you're gluing it to this side of the bag. Now as you see, ordinarily I would have done light blue, but at least you get to see that now on video and it shows up. Okay, so again we want it so that it's facing down, so it looks like a nose, and then the two wings, add glue, and then find that slot and bring it through. You could glue those in before you actually put the bag together if you want to. It doesn't matter which way. Alright. And then they're now in situ. Now we have a decorative element for the side of the bag. Let me find it. And I've done this in navy, and you can see it's got a beautiful deboss pattern in it there. So I'm just going to add adhesive to that. And that just goes around that part of the bag there, just to give it a decorative element. Okay, we're going to add that there, and then we're going to do the other side. Just a nice little finishing touch, I think. And there we go. So in that goes. So that is the base of your bag. All right, now then, because we can, we're going to add the decorative paper now, and then we'll make the purse. So I'm going to add that to the front there. Same on the other side. There we go. And we've got that nice pattern to the bag there. Right, so that's the bag part finished for now. So we will go on to the purse. Now then, like we did before, we have two pieces the same, and they would glue on top of each other. But before we do that, we have some side pieces. So you want a valley fold each side of that center section, and then you want a mountain fold each side. Okay, so we want glue on that tab, and we want to glue that to the out. Yeah, Vicky's just had a storm there. Vicky just had a brainstorm and froze. I forgot where I was and what I was doing. Oh dear me. Right, honestly I think it's this heat, it's getting to me. I was talking to Rush the other night, and I think she was a bit worried about me, and she said, "Are you all right, Vicky?" And I went, I think so. I just think it's this heat. She said, drink some water, drink some water. Right, so we're going to glue those on there, okay, and then we're going to cover that up with this other bag so that you don't see that join on the bottom there. So add adhesive to there. There we go. And then stick him on there, like so. There we go. And I'm open him out. You can go along then with your bone folder. Okay, just to make sure it's all stuck there. And then like we did before, let me just crease that back down. So like we did before, we then folded these side pieces in and we add adhesive. Okay, that side and that side. All right, and then we're going to fold those flat and press down. So the purse is kind of the same principle as the bag in the way that it is constructed. Okay, so then we want glue on this tab. We want glue on this tab. And then we want to fold them flat. And down they go. Give them a burnish. Okay. And that will pop up like the bag did. Okay. I'll give it a little bit of a tweak and a squeeze. All right. Right. So we'll decorate this now. All right. So I've picked some navy just because I was going all blues. Now, if I'd realised I was going to do the pattern paper on the outside ahead of time, I probably would have matched this up. But there we go. So this kind of goes like so. So you end up with a little border around that bit there in the middle. All right. And then do that each side. Again on this side. And we flip him over and do the other side. I don't do an awful lot of blue actually. I'm into ocean colours at the moment, the teals and the oceans. Red is my favourite colour, as you all know by now. But yeah, I'm very much into. I love teal. I love ocean and red together. Oh, they're gorgeous colours together. Right, so that is your little purse. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to make the gift card holder. I have got some navy little embellishments for this, so I've gone with this little fine one, but this is up to you, this decoration. You can put the bigger band on and then a smaller band, or it's completely up to you what you put on this bit and how. I just want that little fine border there each side. Alright, so down it goes. Try and make the border equal all the way round if you can. There we go. And then round the other side to do the same, and then we'll do this gift card to put inside the purse. But you could just have the gift bag like that, you know, with just ready to load stockpile of gifts inside. But this is a great way to give your girlfriend, your daughter, your niece, your gran, anybody that you know, a gift card so they can go and treat themselves. Could be a gift card for a spa weekend. Gosh. Right, so that's the little purse there. Okay, so now we're going to do the gift card. So you need 2 of these again, so everything's in 2s. You need to add adhesive to this card piece with a slot. Okay, so do that now, and then slot that one over the top of that one. Okay, and just line them up. Take your time. There's there'll be no rush when you're making yours. Right, so you've got those 2 pieces now stuck together. So now we're going to glue these bottom pieces. Okay, so again I'm going to add adhesive to that bottom tab like so, and I'm going to glue that one over the existing one. Pull the wing out and pull that wing out. Okay, so you've got this kind of look. So this also has a decorative layer, so you could have matched it with the papers, but I mean I just had in my mind a 2-tonal blue, but forgot about the layers. So add that one there. So just make sure you've got a fine blue border there, and repeat on the other side. Okay. And that goes on there. There we go. And then we want some adhesive on the bottom. And that is getting stuck right in the middle there. And you can put your bone folder through that hole and just press down so that you've got it pretty much bang in the middle. Rid of that glue. Okay. So then you would put your little gift card in there, in that little slot. And then when these little wings, they go through the top and then they go down into the bottom. Okay. So again, I'm going to lift that one out because it's jumped back in. There we go. So through the top, and then down in through the bottom, and that secures your little gift card wallet there. Okay, and then that, if you squeeze the box, fits just inside the base like that, and that's your purse inside. So now it's the external decoration. So did I put the decorative elements on? Yes, I did. Right, so now I've got these navy blue handles I'm putting on here. So like I said to you before, it's up to you what you put on the handles, whether you go big, small, extra, it's up to you. So I'm just going to go in with the blue and add those there, like so. And then the same on the other side. Okay. And then on there with that one. There we go. So we've got a nice blue handle. So you're tying all the colours in together now. So now we're going to make the band. So let's make the band part, shall we? So you're going to have 4 of these, okay, and they are going to stick to this part here, and you need 4 of these. So what we're going to do is add adhesive to this part, and then we're going to glue that onto that angle there, okay, and we're going to do that on this side, and then we're going to do the same on this other side. So some adhesive there. Let's repeat that on this side. So take your time, make sure you've got all your angles right. Okay, and then when they're stuck, you then want to add one on the inside, because you want to cover those tabs. We don't want to see any ugly tabs. We just want, not that they're ugly, but you know what I mean. We want it all neat and professional, because we are professional crafters. Okay, so then that gives it a little bit more rigidity, because this is going to be going on and off your bag to close it. Okay, so that makes it a lot better. So we need to repeat that and do that again. Okay, so like before, glue on there, take it to that angle section and hold it, and a little bit off there we go, that's better. And then we want to repeat on the other side, so again glue on there, and then hold that on that section there. Right. Okay, and then we want to cover those tabs. So down there, cover those tabs up like so. If you want to do 2 of these back to back to make them a little bit more rigid, then yep, you can do that as well. So now you've got 2 like that. So what we want to do now is join these 2 together. We want to make sure they're in a straight line. So add glue to the circle like so, and place one over the other. Make sure they're both pointing down. So we want to make sure that they are straight. Okay, and pinch those together. Repeat on this other side. So I'd like glue on this one, and then put that on there. And this is like your belly band for your bag. Okay, pinch everything, make sure everything is glued. Now, yeah, I do have a die in the set that you can cut into your die so that you can put a design into the band there. But I've gone ahead and just debossed this strip because I quite like this strip with the little diamonds going along the middle. So what we're going to do is we're going to put glue along there, like so. And we're going to line that up. So we've got him equal each side or thereabouts. There we go. We've got him a little bit one way, not another way, but there we go. He's stuck now, I think. Well, that's not exactly straight, Victoria. That is not straight. That drives me, eyes go wonky. Got wonky donkey eyes. And I just love that pattern. I just think it's stunning. So again, kind of repeating everything. Same on one side as on another. And then add that one there. Like I said, you don't have to go for this design. You can actually cut into it and do it with that die I've just shown you. Use pattern papers. So then we don't want to see that across that centre panel. So we've got a nice mirror card lattice design there that we're just going to put over that light blue, bringing all those colours back into play. So squidge that with the old hand, and then that is going in the centre there. Cover all those workings up. I think it just adds a little bit of va-va-voom there with the mirror. Do the same again on this other side. That way. There we go. Getting carried away there. Okay. And this glues on here. Like so. Press that down. And any glue, just buff it away. You do it straight away. There we go. So again, you know, and as you can see, wet glue really is your best friend, especially with the glue press, because you're not just overusing glue. Right, so as I said before, there's a little decorative element here, and we've done it in blue, but we're just going to add that to there, just to tie that all in. And then we've got another one here that we're going to add adhesive to. But you can make your pockets, make a pocket if you want to make a pocket on the outside with some additional card. You could have a blingy bag, a little clutch bag. Yeah, looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with for this one, I can say. So now you can see your band, and it's quite rigid because we've done 2 layers. So you'll pinch the bag together and this will slide down, and you'll see there are notches here on the bag where it slides down to, and it will find that little lock on the side, and it will find the other little lock on the other side, and then it pinches that together, and that keeps your bag closed. Okay, so now we've got a gift tag, we've got additional little embellishments that we're going to put together, and we've got some feet So you have this little die here, and as you can see, that is a get it the right way, Vicky, that's a little corner for your bag. So we're going to add that wet adhesive again, and this is where you can start to bling up your bags with bits of mirror and glitter card and you name it. So we're going to put that there, so we've got little feet, little corners there on our bag. Imagine all those little designer bags that you could take inspiration from that are out there. So we put that down, we put another one, and I remember the last time that we had some bags years and years ago, you guys loved them. You absolutely adored them. You put them in presentation boxes. They looked amazing. And imagine having a lovely presentation acetate box with one of these displays inside it. Don't forget, you could roll your card up and put little bum feet on the bottom of your bags as well, because you know those nice posh bags have little feet, don't they? Little studs. So place that one there. Down that goes. And buff your mirror card if you get any on like me. There we go. And get this the right way round for my clumsy hands. There we go. And I think all these little pieces just finish it off so beautifully, you know. I just love it, I do. So I had cut a zip, so we could have a zip lower down at the back with a little claspy zip there. So I'm going to add that now. Now we could add it underneath where would be the band, so we took it off, but I think I'm going to have it just below. So I'm just going to tease some bits of glue onto these teeth. I'll go down the middle and then just odd, and then I'm going to go down about there. It kind of goes from one end of the bag to the other, making sure it's kind of level. And then I am going to add, if I can find a little bit of a foam pad. Now, because my card is quite thin, I am going to glue this zip onto another piece of card just to give it a little bit more rigidity. There we go. Make sure you get any glue away. And then I'm going to just put a tiny little foam pad. So I'll just cut one to size. There we go. We only need a tiny one, don't we? And I'm just going to place that just on this piece here at the back, and then I'm going to glue that to there, so it's just got a nice little ornate zip there on the back. So we now have a gift tag, so I'm going to glue one back to back, and I will go ahead after and add this with maybe some nice silver chain, which I haven't got to hand at the minute, but I will hang it off the front of the bag. So we've got this lovely sentiment there, little bag of love. this is going to go into that middle. Again, you've got sentiments in your paper pad, so you could have one that matches the bag, if there's one in there that matches the bag. So of course this is going to be the front, so imagine a little bit of silver chain. We're going to have the sentiment hanging there on the tag, and then we're going to make this little padlock. So I've also cut a little key, and again, because mirror card isn't really that thick, for rigidity I've cut a little blue key, and we're just going to make it a little bit more chipboardy, that's all. And I would hang that with the lock and the key. So we've got the key, the padlock, tease it back. It's kind of like a little box that goes in a little box. So this goes together like so. So I'm just going to put this together. So we'll pinch that and hold that together. Like so. That would go onto there. Yeah, so let's do this other one. It's a while ago since I did this bag, and I have forgotten how I did the lock. Okay, so let's glue the bottom of this one like so, and then I think it's a case of just gluing them together like so. Yeah, right, so I'm going to put, first of all I'm going to put adhesive along this bottom edge. So you've got two kind of cubes there, so we're going to glue one inside the other like so. Once you've got an anchor point, it's then easy to handle. So you are going to glue one inside the other, and I am going to grab it with my tweezers. I think I need a little bit more glue. It's so warm in here. Let's get rid of that excess glue. We don't want that. Right, so let's just hold that for a minute instead of being Speedy Gonzales Victoria. There we go. So I want that one inside like so, and we'll hold that. You're just basically making a cube, probably making it look far more difficult than it actually is. So I'm going to slide my tweezers in there now and grab. There we go. It's getting your fingers in these smaller places, isn't it? There we are. So then we want to tease that back a little bit because we want to stick this top piece in. And then we want to do the same. We want to tuck that side piece in there to make the cube. And then we want to put the tweezers back in, so we're going to pull that out and then get the tweezers in just to hold it. So we've made that cube, okay. And then we want to push those pieces in, the little tabs, and then we want to adhere these little pieces in then. So we want glue on those pieces, and then fold that side in like this, and then if we fold the other side in, then they'll meet in the middle. So just add a little bit more glue on that side, and then a little bit of glue on the top of that padlock. The two sides will meet in the middle, and it just leaves you a very neat finish. So we want that side out and that side over, just like that. Okay, and then these two pieces meet in the middle. Very hard to show you because it's so small and my hands are a lot bigger than it, but basically that is how the little padlock is made. And then we'll just have this little decorative piece here added to the front, like so. Just hold that till it's grabbed. There we go. And then with my silver chain, when I dig it out, I will add the little padlock, the little key, and I would hang them off the front of the bag like so. So you'd have them all hanging off the bag there. But that's how it goes. So those are your embellishments. It just unhooks, very easy. You shouldn't feel any resistance there. And then your belly band comes off, and then you've got your gift purse in there with your gift card, and you can take the purse out, put it back in, put your band back on, and like I say, you see those little ridges there each side. It goes to there, and then it automatically tries then to find that hook at that side, and then that hook at that side. Okay, and that's in place, and then you tie your bits on, and I would probably tie it in between the handles so that when you open it, the gift tag stays on the front. And that, my friends, is the Argyle gift bag, and it is going to be a kit. So I've never seen a kit of this size ever before. Whether we will see it again, I don't know. I would imagine that it's cost a fair few pennies to make. But I think it's a very special kit. So I think for those of you that are subscribers, well done. And for those that kind of bob in and out, I don't think you'll want to bob in and out of this one, because I don't think this one is going to hang around for very long at all. So guys, I just want to say thank you again for joining me. Any information, links, etc. are always in the description, and it would be lovely if you give me a thumbs up or a follow or a cheeky little comment, because it'd be nice to know that you're there. So for now guys, take care and happy crafting guys. Bye.